He glances back toward his companion in the boat. His eyes are turned from the Savior. It is found in Desire of Ages, page 308. The SDA commentary tells us as his feet became accustomed to walking on the surface of the water, he evidently thought of his companion in the boat and wondered what they thought of his newfound skill. Wow. Oh, I am walking on the water. What are they thinking about me? I can walk on the water too. Now, turning his glances momentarily back to the boat, he lost sight of Jesus. In that brief instant, self-satisfaction had diluted faith with pride, so to speak, and faith lost its sustaining power. That is found in volume 5, page 417. Do we suffer from this? What a question to ask, right? The remedy is to consider him. Consider Peter. Pride is the result of wrong thinking. And to know whether we suffer from pride, we need to ask the following questions and to face up to them, answer them honestly, okay? So here are some questions that we're going to answer. Well, I will not let you raise your hands for this to answer whether you have this or not. But I want you to reflect. Let's reflect on these questions if we are having this kind, that keeping our eyes off from Jesus. Am I upset when my friends do not pat me on the back? Think about that. Do I feel hurt if I am not thanked for some work that I have undertaken? Nobody thanked me. I did a lot. I've been washing, I've been cleaning the church, I've been doing this one. Nobody recognized me. Do I have that? Do I turn against people if they criticize me? Do I find myself saying that I am better than others? Wow. There is a woman, a young woman, who made an appointment to his pastor, okay? Because of the sin that is besetting her. She's so worried about this sin. And so she made an appointment to her pastor. When she saw him, she said, "Pastor, I have become aware of my sin in my life, which I cannot control." Well, what is that? You know what? Every time in the church, when I look around, I recognize I am the prettiest among the ladies. And I realized, the other one, none of the others can compare with my beauty. Wow. What can I do about this sin? So the woman said, well, the pastor replied, Mary, her name is Mary. No Mary here. That's not you. Mary, that's not a sin. Why? That's just a mistake. Okay, sometimes, yeah, it's just a mistake. Another one. Do I find fault with others? And is this because I am jealous or envious or proud? I repeat. Do I find fault with others? And is this because I am jealous or envious? Ronald Reagan, you know him, right? Recalling an occasion when he was governor in California and made a speech in Mexico City. And in Mexico, what language did he use? Spanish. Thank you. He said, after I had finished speaking, I sat down to rather unenthusiastic applause. So after his speech, he sat down and he received only a little clap from the audience. Oh, he was so sad because usually if you're president and after a speech, you can receive a lot of big clap, right? And sometimes standing ovation. But with this situation, he got only a little clap. The speaker who followed him spoke in Spanish, okay? Which he didn't understand now, and he was being before everyone else. He started clapping before everyone else. And longer than anyone else. Okay, so every paragraph, that speaker he is speaking louder and even longer. Okay? Now, his ambassador leaned over and said, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Why? He is interpreting your speech. Okay, he is interpreting your speech. Okay. So, do we have that? Because he is in you? Yeah. Do I think that I am always right and that others are always wrong? In the summer of 1986, two ships collided in the Black Sea off the Kazakhstan. Hundreds of passengers died as they were hurled into the icy waters below. Okay? Hundreds of passengers died. News of the disaster was further darkened when an investigation revealed the cause of the accident. It wasn't a technology problem, like radar malfunction or even thick fog. The cause was human stubbornness. Okay? Each captain was aware of the other ship's presence nearby. So they knew that the boat is coming. Okay? Both could have steered clear. But according to the news report, neither captain wanted to give way to the other. Each was too proud to yield first. By the time they came into their senses, it was too late, just because of pride. Am I very critical? Do I therefore put myself on pedestal? No. Another one. What other things? Fear. The wind is boisterous. The waves roll high and come directly between him and the master, and he is afraid. Afra's existentialist said that each century can be summarized by one word. 17th century, mathematics. 18th century, natural sciences. 19th century, biology. 20th century, fear. Okay, this is really true. You feel that? There is fear everywhere. Yeah, in one of my classes, in multicultural, a lot of them are Canadians in that class. There are 2 Filipinos in that class. And then we have some sessions where we have group discussions, and then they express how the changes that is being done in their community right now. Because before, they can freely walk along the road, something like that, without any fear at all. But this time, they just can't send their children alone, something like that, because of a lot of, it's not safe anymore, they said. And even in the Philippines, I saw at Facebook and also in YouTube, we call it kumao. I don't know how there are some guys who are kidnapping, getting children. It's a real story. They're getting children, just grabbing it. And then what they do, they kill the child and removing the organs of the child and then selling it. Yeah. It's dangerous. So there is a place there where there is curfew time. Children are not allowed anymore to go out from the house. They're being advised not to go out from the house at 6 o'clock, something like that, because a lot of things are happening like that. So it's not safe anymore, right? So we have that fear. Fear is the most devastating emotion on earth, right? Fear it or not, but then God said we have a promise, even though we are in this kind of not safe world. But Jesus promised in John 16:33 and Isaiah 41:10, it says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yes, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." We have nothing to fear for the future except as we shall forget the way of the Lord has led us and His teaching in our past history. Okay, so that is our fear. If we shall forget the ways of the Lord. Okay, keep your your fears to yourself, share your courage with others. That is by Robert Louis Stevenson. Sometimes the Lord calms the storm, and sometimes He lets the storm rage and calm His child. We need never fear so long as we keep our eyes upon Jesus and trust in His grace and power. But when we turn our gaze upon self and upon others, we have good reason to be afraid. Yeah. Next one. Doubt. In Matthew 14:30-31, but when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me! Immediately Jesus reached out His hand and caught him. You of little faith, He said, why did you doubt? Okay? There were two explorers who went to the jungle, safari jungle. Have you been there? In the safari jungle? I wish. Okay. And